Hi, I'm Ken with Intech Mechanical. We're here today at the Kaiser South Sac ED expansion. We're going to be going through some training today, looking at all the new mechanical equipment, going through it functionality wise, and looking at some points that may be of interest to you in the future. Okay, here we are in the mechanical equipment room on the first floor. This is your domestic hot water heating system. It's fed by the rooftop boiler through these heat exchangers. There's two heat exchangers. They are redundant. They're set at 130 degrees. Out of the heat exchangers, we move over to our storage tanks, our domestic hot water side. These are our two circ pumps circulating from the tanks through the heat exchangers. The disconnects are located right above them. There are speed switches on the side. No need to adjust them. They've been balanced. Out of our storage tanks, our domestic hot water goes over to our mixing valve. It is tempering the water to 120 degrees and out into the building. Above the mixing valve are the two hot water recirc pumps. These are recircing hot water out to the building to the fixtures. Behind me is the expansion tank. Not much to say about this. It just sits here and provides expansion for the heating and cooling of the water. Okay, so we're back at one of the heat exchangers for the domestic hot water. I wanted to touch on a couple points here. Below me is a manual water flow valve. In case the temperature controller fails, you can manually depress this knob, turn it to the right, and you will have hot water going through the exchanger. Make note on this, you've now put it in manual mode, so you'll have to monitor the water temperature in the tank so it doesn't get too hot. Moving up to the controller, this has a primary high limit, a secondary high limit. Those limits are set 10 degrees apart. So 10 degrees above set point, you'll get a limit alarm. 20 degrees above, you'll get the secondary alarm. As the alarms go away, you'll see the secondary drop, you'll see the primary drop, everything will go green. So we're back at the hot water circulating pumps. These pumps are what's circulating the water from the storage tanks through the heat exchangers. They have speed controls on them. Once again, these have already been set and determined to run at high speed. There's disconnects right above them. Once again, redundant. This is your water tempering valve, mixing valve. We have hot water in at 130 degrees, cold water this side, 120 degrees going out to your building. Above this are your two hot water circ pumps. Those go out to all the fixtures and maintain 120 degree water temp through the loop at all times. The disconnect switches are right above them. So on your expansion tank for the domestic water, we have an indicator here. Basically white, it'll be clear, you won't see anything. If it's red, it will indicate a ruptured bladder or some other type of leak that may cause water to go outside. There is a red dial on here on the pressure gauge. If the pressure goes above system pressure, the red dial will stay in that place, and so you could see when you come in if you had a high pressure situation. Pump, it's wired into a cutout. You guys know the filters are on the top. Slide those little babies out, wash them, slide them back in. I'll point the condensers out to you. The stats are here, but these are monitored. So I don't know if you see them down low like this. Typically not. These sense temperature from the air handler, from the return air on this. Yeah, those pumps are really cool up there.
Yeah, that looks cool.
And so if you have any question or anything, that white cover right there pulls off. And then it's clear. You can see the water level, and it has a little float on it and whatnot. And where these pump out to is there's a line there that runs straight down the building, catches the other one on the other side, and down kind of about 2/3 the way down this hallway. You guys have a janitor's closet with the mop sink.
Right.
It runs into there. So if you guys have to blow out your condensates or something, that's where it's going. Oh, those little things are tough. They'll go like 50 feet.
Really? Wow.
Yeah.
Even the head pressure?
Yeah.
Really? Wow. Great.
Yeah, they're tough. So it just pumps right there and then gravity out. Okay, so here we are at the mini split cassette unit for the TR room. Just going to show you the very noisy lid. Open. There's a removable washable filter in here. Take out, hose, wash, replace. And close. This is fan coil unit 3. It's located in the med vac room. It has a separate filter access door on the return air side. On the roof, we have 7 exhaust fans. This is exhaust fan 3. It's the only one on the roof with a starter. It does have a HOA. It's a belt-driven fan, so it will be a maintenanceable item. Okay, exhaust fan 4 on the roof. This is similar of 5 other fans on the roof. They're direct drive fans, no belts of maintenance. They do have a disconnect inside the fan. This is EF1. This is the largest fan on the roof. It has a belt in it, does need service. This fan also runs on a drive, VFD. It's controlled by the BMS. We're inside exhaust fan 1 here. As you can see, we have 2 fan belts that will need regular maintenance. We have a drive over here, once again controlled by the BMS. This fan also has 2 pillow block bearings with Zerk fittings for greasing. Okay, so front of the boilers here, obviously 2 boilers, once again redundant. They're running right now lead lag. Up above here, you do have a display screen. Tap it and it will just display values that you might want to look at, inlet temps, outlet temps, and so forth. Over here, let me step up here, guys. You do have a low water cutout, you have a test, and you have a reset. There's also another reset. This reset is to reset the boiler if it goes to alarm or has any kind of failure. This is your boiler temperature control panel. It's tied into the BMS. Okay, so directly on the back side of the boilers, you do have combustion air filters. Off with the lid. Inside, you do have a pleated air filter. There's 1 per boiler. They'll need to be replaced regularly. Okay, on the back side of the boiler here, I want to walk through the components. Your primary pumps for the boiler are up above here. We have your expansion tank here for the boiler loop. Over here, your 2 VFDs for your circulating pumps, also known as secondary pumps. Above here, you'll see your air separator with the auto air vent above it. Okay, we're going to walk around and show you some disconnects. Before I get there, this is the main gas shutoff for the boilers. Okay, so a little farther around the back side of the boiler, I just wanted to show you, these are the disconnects for the primary pumps and the boilers. Your circulating pumps for the heating hot water loop, which also feeds domestic hot water. Back here behind is another shot of your pot feeder for chemical feed. So here's the acid neutralizer for the boiler exhaust vent drain condensate. Behind me is just backside of the pot feeder, and below that is the pressure regulator for the makeup water on the boiler loop. This is your temperature control panel for air handler unit 1. They're exactly the same. There's one opposite of me for air handler 2. Inside this temperature control panel is located your high duct static limit. So if you need to reset, it's right here. Okay, so for both your air handler units, you have a service outlet, and this is a timer for the lights inside the unit. So on both of the air handler units, you have a magnet helix reading pressure across the filter bank. to notify you of dirty filters. Each fan wall for return and supply fans has 2 VFDs. Right here is the switch from VFD1 to VFD2 and your disconnect. Backside of the unit, we have the filter access, all pleated filters. This filter bank does have the ability to take pre-filters. Okay, chilled water control valve for the air handler units. This does have a manual override if need be. Behind me, you have a low point drain. You have a high point for a vent. This chilled water comes from the central plant.